All right, in this bowl, I'm gonna put 340 grams of cold water. It specifically says cold water since this is a croissant loaf. So we're going 340 grams of water. And then we're gonna do 120 grams of starter that is supposed to be completely fed and ready. I fed the starter last night. So it's pretty good, but I'm probably gonna end up living on the edge and saying that it didn't work out in the end because my starter wasn't ready. But you know. I'm gonna add 10 grams of salt. .500 grams of bread flour. We're gonna mix it all up and let it sit for 30 minutes. All right, after this set of stretch and folds, which I literally just kind of did, this dough is really sticky. That is when we're gonna add our butter. Well, we're gonna add half of the butter. So we're gonna do 4 sets of stretch and folds, 30 minutes apart. This is the first one that I just did. I'm gonna let it rest for 30 minutes and then we're gonna come back and we are gonna add about a half of a stick of butter grated into this, and your butter needs to be cold. So that is that. All right, so now this recipe calls for about a half cup of butter, unsalted, which I actually did buy unsalted butter. So I am going to grate half of this stick in right now for the second set of stretch and folds. It says to make sure that it's cold. The butter is cold, so. All right, that's about half. That's half. And then I'm gonna put the rest of this butter in the fridge until we do the next set of stretch and folds. Because again, it says to keep the butter cold. It also says to keep your dough relatively cold, like you don't want to do this on a hot day when your kitchen is hot. Thankfully our kitchen isn't the hottest right now. Just gonna fold it in, I guess. All right, now we get to put in the next part of the butter. All right, it's the rest of the butter. Now I'm just gonna fold it in and then let this rest for another 30 minutes. And then we'll do our last set of stretch and folds. And then we're gonna let it sit on the counter and do its thing for the next 6 to 7 hours. And hopefully it's cool enough in my kitchen. It feels cool enough. I don't know if I mentioned before, I know I said cool, but it said ideal temperature between 70 and 72. So, yeah. So we're gonna try to keep it at. All right, that is folded in. I'll put this over the top and we'll be back in 30 more minutes. All right. Last set of stretch and folds before we just let this do its thing on the counter for the next 6 hours. I won't lie, this dough is really kind of stiff, maybe? I'm not sure how to describe it. It feels a little different than normal dough, but I'm gonna trust the process. And bright side, the butter has not melted, which is what it says. So also, if you know, you know, but at least I don't have to boil this this loaf. So yeah, there's a bright side of that. I don't have to boil it. So anyway, we're gonna be back in the next 6 hours, so at like 10 p.m. tonight. All right, it has been about 6 hours, so I'm gonna call this good because we're gonna go to bed soon. It looks to be maybe like 70%. I don't know. I read the directions and it said you want bubbles on the top, which there's a bubble, there's a bubble, there's a bubble, and bubbles, you know, like on the sides. Looks to be bubbly. So we're just gonna shape this like we do, you know, like any loaf of sourdough. And see how it goes, because, you know, I put a whole stick of butter in it. It's said to be very gentle. Try not to, you know, I'm just gonna do this like I do everything. No, yeah, the butter's still not melted, so that's good. It did get a little warm in our kitchen, but not warm enough. Just gonna shape this, like I said, like I shape all of my sourdough. And then we're gonna let this sit. We're gonna let it bench rest for about 30 minutes, and then we'll do our final shape. Put it in the Banneton basket, cover it, put it in the fridge overnight. Well, maybe not overnight. It says for like 14 to 18 hours. So that's the plan. Looks pretty good so far, actually. I've got some faith in her. She's bubbly. There's butter. I have a feeling it might actually taste like a croissant. All right. I'm gonna do the final shape of this loaf. It actually looks really good. I say actually like I should be super surprised, but like I'm actually really excited for this. You can definitely see all the butter in it. Can't wait for that. Okay, so do our final little shape. You all can shape yours however you do. This is just how I usually do. And then I have my basket over here, and I'm just gonna ploop her right in. I'm gonna cover it, I'll put it in the fridge overnight, and then we'll be back tomorrow to bake this. And like I said, I'm actually so excited. The butter in this looks so good. All right, I'll see you all in the morning. Okay, this has been in my fridge for 14 hours now, and it looks nice. So I do have my oven preheating with the Dutch oven in it to 450. Normally I do 500, but I'm gonna follow the recipe exactly. So it says 450, and then I'm gonna lower the temperature to 425 when I put this in to the Dutch oven, and bake it in the Dutch oven with the lid on for 20 minutes. And then we'll take the lid off and bake it again for another 20-ish minutes. So the recipe also did say that because there's butter in it, you definitely want to put parchment paper down, because it's gonna be buttery. It's gonna make a mess. Yeah, it's nice and buttery. All right, that looks good enough. I'm gonna cut myself with the razor like I did last week. catch me burning myself. Whatever, good enough. Lid on. 20 minutes in the oven, then we'll take the lid off and do another 20 minutes. Okay, I only cooked this with the lid off for about 15 minutes, but my oven cooks fast, so yeah. There she is. She is pretty. She is so pretty. I don't know if anyone can hear that, but she is sizzling. I don't know if that it picks up on the camera, but this bread is literally sizzling because of the butter. But I'm gonna wait at least an hour before we cut into this because it is hot. All right. When I pulled this loaf out, there was a ton of butter in the bottom of the Dutch oven, so beware of that. Like all of this right here, butter. So we're just gonna cut into it. I feel like it's gonna be really messy, but we're just gonna. Okay, yeah, It definitely has a different texture. It's definitely more like croissant-like, I guess. It's not as crunchy. It's not like full of butter or anything. I mean, you can't like squeeze it and butter doesn't like ooze out, so that's lovely. Let me kind of wipe my hands off and then we'll try this. All right, we're gonna give this a whirl. My dog is staring at me. Yeah. No, it definitely does taste like a croissant, which is weird. It doesn't have the typical sourdough taste. It's messy. I don't know if you can see, like, my hands are greasy because it's full of butter. You know. But it looks pretty good to me. I don't really have anything to say about it. It's flaky. It has a different texture than normal sourdough. It's really soft. It's really soft. It's good. I do really like it. I don't know if I'm selling it or not, but like it is really good. I would definitely make this again. Honestly, I think throwing some chocolate chips in would be really good because I really like chocolate croissant. But yeah, I would make this again for sure. It's definitely different than normal sourdough, but not in a bad way. So maybe this next video I'll actually buy the things that I need to make hot cross buns because I didn't have everything I needed, so that's why I didn't make them. But anyway, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!